Welcome to Life in Surround. This is an update for 2023. Back around New Year's, I did a joint video with Ryan Talbot, and we did some forecasting for 2023. So I just want to take some time, now that we are in May, to go ahead and run down 25 albums that have captured my interest. I have either gone in for them, or I'm looking for a good price, or I'm anticipating them coming. So 25 albums so far for 2023. These are all multi-channel titles, so that's at least quadraphonic, and all the way up to Atmos, RO3D. And I don't mean that quadraphonic is in any way lesser than other surround formats, just saying per number of channels. All right. I'm providing a link to the page on quadraphonicquad.com where information about releases by year is lovingly collected and curated by user Haiku Base. So I just want to give a thank you. These threads are amazingly helpful. So let's start going down the 25 that have captured my interest. And this gives you an opportunity to start building your own watch lists and shop lists, and to maybe suggest titles that so far haven't captured my interest. Look down the same list and, leave comments as to, whether people should be interested in stuff that I haven't covered yet. I would love some solid recommendations. All right, so January 6th, Mr. Big released Lean Into It. That may have been a reissue. I recall picking it up quite some time ago, and I still need to listen to it. So Mr. Big also has released, we're going to see later in this year, their self-titled Mr. Big, April 21st. So those are both on my list. They got my attention, and I need to make time to listen to Lean Into It. And then I am strongly considering picking up the self-titled because I have auditioned it in stereo and I simply like it. All right, so then January 20, Riverside ID.Entity. It is an Atmos Blu-ray, and I think that the Atmos mix is pretty good. In my experience, I had to bring up the rear of the room, the volumes of my surround back and surround and Atmos, rear height channels. So I wish that one didn't have to do that sort of thing, but if you are willing to, it does bring out a nicely immersive mix, whereas I was pretty disappointed with the mix that really fixed that significantly. And it's a pretty cool album too. So also January 20, Katatonia, Sky Void of Stars. Very, very nice Katatonia album. I would say my favorite in quite a while. And it's got a great Bruce Sword Atmos mix. I hope that it is maybe available for download. Let me try to check real quick. So far, just a CD Blu-ray package, and that was a rather expensive, like wood box package. So I would hope that maybe that, eventually is available for download on immersiveaudioalbum.com or somewhere like that. Cantus Yggdrasil. This is a 2L SACD Blu-ray package. I 100% recommend it. I have reviewed it, so go check that out. And definitely support 2L. They always put out products that sound amazing. 10 years after Space and Time, this was a super deluxe edition surround series release, and I believe it went through 2 pressings, and it probably sold out both times. I have had the album on SQLP for a while, and there was a DVD video release several years back that had some channel misassignments, and so this really is the definitive issue in multi-channel at this point. I encourage you to follow the SDE series, as some awesome titles have already been included, and I think we have some amazing ones in store. All right, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon 50. You could stream the Atmos mix or pick up the Blu-ray in the massive, very expensive box set. I went ahead for the box set just so I could review it, and the Blu-ray does sound more defined than streaming, so I do recommend getting a hold of the Blu-ray if you can. Absolutely awesome Atmos mix. I did a review, so check that out if you have any questions. All right, Ben Craven Monsters from the id. This is a multi-channel download offering from over at surroundmusic.one. I have had this recommended to me, and I'm going to be listening soon, and I'll be reporting back to you all if it's a match for me. All right, then we get a title that has caused a bit of controversy amongst fans. We have Jethro Tull, RökFlöte, or however you say it. I hear from a lot of people that they like this album musically. There are some people who like this album entirely. And then there are some people who just aren't into Ian Anderson's current vocal, at least with respect to matching this music. So I've heard suggestions that people would have been more thrilled with this as a package if it had been released with instrumental mixes, for instance. I'm torn because I'm a big Bruce Sword fan, and he was involved in the production and the mixing. So I think I will eventually check this one out, but I just couldn't justify the premium price to jump in and be an early adopter. I would really rather wait and see what happens with pricing. I think they'll probably come down for this set. All right, Everything But the Girl, their album called Fuse. I did pick this one up and I have listened to it. I intend to do a review of it. And as a precursor, I would just say that I think it is a bit of a mixed bag. Rush, Signals. I did probably my funnest and personal favorite review to date, not too long ago. Just enjoying Signal's 40th anniversary, the deluxe box. It is overpriced. I do not think it is a reasonable value. I invested in it so I could review it for this channel, and I'm glad that I had a chance to. It's a very, very enjoyable experience. I just think the price needs to come way, way down, especially for deluxe sets that contain no new live material. Okay, enough said. All right, May 12, The Moody Blues, To Our Children's Children. This is a CD Blu-ray combo set. It is priced highly enough that I'm a little hesitant to jump in early on this one. I already have an older multi-channel SACD version of this album, so I'm going to sit tight. This is remixed freshly by Stephen W. Taylor. However, so it is on my interest list. I'm just waiting on this one a bit. Anything that Stephen W. Taylor mixes or really has his hand in is going to sound great. May 12, Bob Dylan, Time Out of Mind. This was an SDE Surround Series pre-order. It's probably sold out. I will report back once I've had a chance to hear it, whether it is amazing or not, and maybe if it is popular enough, it can get a second pressing. That has happened in the SDE Surround Series so far. All right, Marillion Seasons End. It's releasing soon. I thankfully got a copy from a friend here in California. I appreciate this loan. I have been digesting it. I hope to review it soon, and it is available from Racket Records and probably elsewhere at this point. This is a loaner copy, so I'm going to be picking up my own at some point. I'm going to be just watching pricing on this one. UK Curtain Call. I don't know a whole lot about this one yet, but I've had about umpteen friends recommend it, so I better go check it out. I really enjoyed the Bob Clearmountain mix of UK Night After Night live. He did a great job with just relatively few parts going on most of the time. And I don't have information on who has mixed this or really anything, but I really did enjoy that previous release so much that I'm at least willing to check this out. All right, and then May 26th, we have another SDE Surround Series Blu-ray coming out. It's Mike Oldfield's Tubular Bells. Based on what is being included, I predict this will end up being a definitive version. And my, I hope so. This is a great album with some great multi-channel mixes and maybe some greater ones about to be released. But I do love it when new titles, new to surround titles get released. So definitely looking forward to this one and hoping this may be the one to end them all, the one to rule them all. All right, and then June 9, Tears for Fears, The Hurting, another SDE Surround Series Blu-ray. I hope you all got in on the pre-order and or it's still available and or it'll go in for a repress. I think this list is making clear that SDE is responsible for a lot of surround excitement. For those of us who love surround music on physical media, they are very present at this time. All right, June 16, we have Gentle Giant Interview. I believe this is another Steven Wilson Atmos remix, but don't quote me on that unless I'm right. The last one, Gentle Giant Freehand. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite multi-channel experiences to date. So I'm hoping that this at least meets that bar or maybe even exceeds it. All right, June 23rd, we have The Pineapple Thief. How did we find our way? It's a massive collection of, I think, the first 7 The Pineapple Thief albums, all mixed into Atmos by Bruce Sword, all remastered at the very least, and then quite a bit of bonus content. So I'm in for this one 100%. I love Bruce Sword's work as a producer, as an engineer, and I also like his songwriting. It's quirky and just something that I'm pretty sure I've never heard anything quite like it before, and I really value that kind of thing. I've already got a favorite album from this early The Pineapple Thief era, and I'm curious to see whether really digesting this forthcoming set can change my mind on that at all. All right, June 23rd, various artists. I've done a separate video on this. Rhino Records is releasing 4 quad albums on Blu-ray. 4 different artists from 3 different labels, 192/24 quality on Blu-ray. So stay posted for news on that. And on that point, it's important to subscribe and ring the notification bell so that you will get news when you need it. Okay, July 31st, Fish, 13th Star. I believe this is going to be an Andy Bradfield, Avril McIntosh Atmos remix. I don't have all the details on that. I will try to get more as I can, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I've sincerely enjoyed that team's last several multi-channel efforts, and I really have high expectations for 13th Star. August 25th, we have Camel Airborne, a massive box. It is the MCA and Decca years 1973 to 1984. This is going to feature some iconic Camel records in multi-channel. And then September 29, we have Steven Wilson, the Harmony Codex. I really didn't like his last album, even in Atmos. Steven Wilson always does a great Atmos mix and is impeccable about sound quality. I am just hoping that the musical vibe is a match for me this go round. All right, so those are the 25 albums, ones that I've acquired and intend to review soon after digesting, ones that are on my wish list, ones that I am just investigating a bit more. But again, I'm curious to know what your hot ticket albums are at this time. You could end up recommending someone else's new favorite. So I appreciate you commenting. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and all that good stuff that helps support this channel. I sincerely appreciate it. I hope this message finds you well. And until next time, live life in surround.